The Isuzu UTE A-League returned after the international break, with round 5 kicking off on Friday night at Cooper Stadium. Adelaide were looking to make it 3 from 3 at home this season, whilst defending champions Melbourne City were hoping to continue their undefeated start to the campaign. Ayrton Andreoli made one change to his squad, with Craig Goodwin missing out, having just returned from international duty, whilst Aurelio Vidmar made 3, with Kai Truing also being rested after his time with the Socceroos, and Nathaniel Atkinson joining a lengthy injury list, whilst Aziz Bayic returned to captain City.
Oh, that's a terrible mistake though by Schreiber. Jovanovic. Oh, that looked like a hand from Ferreira. Referee, let's play continue. Alagic has scored. Ethan Alagic gets his second of the season. And he's completed his little set. Goals against Melbourne Victory and now Melbourne City. He already had Sydney FC in Western Sydney. Here's De Cooley again. De Cooley, little touch, Jovanovic. Jovanovic! 3 and 3 for the Adelaide number 9. And the Reds are on fire. Inside the opening 15 minutes, they lead by 2.
I don't reckon he'd ever be able to do that again.
Cohen is fouled again. Oh, it's a red card. A red card for Dylan Parias. Was it a kick out or was it a push? And is it
violent conduct? Is that a straight red? I mean, it's ill discipline from Parias, so I'm prepared to concede that.
Bayic hits Munith, falls Kanamuri. Oh! Well, it didn't take long to have the next dramatic impact in this match. Adelaide fans furious. Well, that was half a chance. Now Ryan White continues to make an impact off the bench. Ryan White still going, he's got it! Well, now he has made that impact. Ryan White, a first ever A-League goal. What a night it is at Cooper Stadium. Well, anything is possible. Baker drives it in. Everything has been cleared by Freens or Kikianis so far this evening. Barnett's kept it in. Look at the space for Ryan White in the middle. The ball, Ryan White to finish it for Adelaide. Off the post again, Barnett follows up. It's 4-1. Jay Barnett. It's his first ever A-League goal as well in his 72nd match. And this crazy match of football just keeps on delivering. The curtain comes down on an epic evening at Cooper Stadium. There was no Craig Goodwin, but what a night it was for the Reds. They raced into a 2-goal lead before a red card put them a man down as Dylan Parias was given his marching orders. In the seconds that followed, Takesh Kanamori scored the most astonishing of goals. And from there, it looked like it was going to be a very tough and long night for the Reds. It was certainly all of that and more. But they dug deep, they dug so deep. A remarkable evening of football to get round 5 underway. The Isuzu UTE A-League. You can't take your eyes off it for a second. It's finished here at Cooper Stadium. Adelaide United 4, Melbourne City 1.
Macarthur FC travelled to Sky Stadium to take on a Wellington Phoenix side who were looking to bounce back after their New Zealand derby loss, with a victory set to move the winning team into the top 6. Giancarlo Italiano made one change to his starting 11, with Canadian Mandrakar James returning to the centre of defence, whilst Bulls boss Mile Stajovski also tinkered with his squad, with Ji Dong-won starting for the first time.
Macarthur have been reasonably fast starters this year. 2 of their 3 goals have come in the first 15 minutes. Gajan and Politidis combining again down the left. Politidis wraps his leg around it, and then the header. It's a really tasty cross from Politidis. Girama's going to have to do well to beat Oluwaimi from there. Nagasawa to take. The delivery's pretty good, and onto the roof of the net just about, or over from Ifeanyi Eze.
Eze and Hughes were lurking in the shadows of the MacArthur backline.
Here's Duran, he's got away momentarily from James. Looking for support, gets it from Ji Dong-won. And a great save, a strong right hand from Oluwaimi. Ji Dong-won going deep. Past Duran, poked it goalwards, Oluwaimi with the save. Almost found its way across to Amiento, and I would imagine that will be a yellow card if they carry on. Instead, it's down the other end. Here comes Gajan, and what a save by Oluwaimi.
Anthony Caceres gets his head up early. There's so much time and space for Gajan through that middle.
Back post Eze, also Amiento. Everybody back defending for the Bulls towards the far post. And Philip Curto, I think, just lost sight of that. Wasn't too sure of the angles, and it skimmed off his chest and behind for another corner. Down the left come MacArthur, and it comes to Sawyer! What a save initially by Oluwaimi, but it's found its way in. And Harrison Sawyer with his second goal of the season, and MacArthur's first away goal of the season, celebrates the goal which separates the sides now, and MacArthur opened the scoring in Wellington. Into Wellington's area, dealt with almost by James, but surely a second. A good save by Oluwaimi. Gajan, his eyes lighting up, but Josh Oluwaimi keeps it at 1. Amiento gets a lucky bounce. Carlo Amiento, what a save by Curto. First shot on target from Wellington. Stupendous save from Philip Curto for the second straight occasion. MacArthur come to Wellington and take away all 3 points. Wellington Phoenix 0, MacArthur FC 1.
Western Sydney Wanderers were at CommBank Stadium for just the second time this season as they hosted the Central Coast Mariners, who were looking to extend a 2-game unbeaten run. Alen Stajcic made no changes to his squad, which included midfielder Steven Ugarkovic, who was set to notch up his 250th A-League game, whilst Warren Moon also stuck with the same 11 from last time out.
It's going to be one of those games directly after the international break as we see Ugarkovic making that forward run early.
The Wanderers trying to get the ball into the box. Not too much space for Costa Barbarouses to work in, and shifted back out to that man, Ugarkovic, and then the ball across the face. It's a great save from Andrew Redmayne. Alu Kwon was looking to score against his old club, but they could only rebound it as far as Bozhidar Kraev, who scores the goal for the Western Sydney Wanderers inside the first minute. Can you believe it? De Lima, it was a nice turn, but Thurgate was quick on it. De Lima continues with possession. Brantman looking for another one. Here's Moragas. He'll cut onto that left foot. It gets a deflection and it's in. Aidan Simmons cannot believe it. He knew very little of that deflection. And Lucas Moragas has the Mariners square. Was looking to make that incisive run into the box. And now Thurgate can get into the area, but he's pushed back by Harry Steele. Turns onto the right, gets the cross, and would you believe it? Costa Barbarouses does make it 2. It's a beautiful touch by Costa Barbarouses. Opens up the body and slides it past Andrew Redmayne into the bottom corner. The RBB certainly not used to barren runs either. Call for a handball there. Was Brad Tapp outside the area maybe?
Wow.
The arm moves towards the ball. The final decision is penalty kick.
He's converted 7 in the A-League so far in his career. Can he make it 8? Barbarouses and Redmayne. He sends Redmayne the wrong way. Costa Barbarouses celebrates with the fans at the southern end. His second of the afternoon. Brantman's in-swinging delivery towards the back post is pretty deep. Brad Tapp does well to get there. It's half-headed clear. There might have been a handball there again from the Western Sydney Wanderers. Oh.
After on-field review, the player moves their arm towards the bowl. The decision is penalty kick.
Takes all the time in the world and he puts it into the top corner. Thomas goes the right way, but there's nothing he can do about it. Alfie McCalmont gives the Mariners another lifeline. Thurgate to take. In swinging to Redmayne. Punches, doesn't quite get his glove on it. The ball in again from Pantazopoulos, cleared by the Mariners. Redmayne goes up again, doesn't get it this time. Pantazopoulos with the pressure on, scrambled, clear by McCalmont. The Mariners doing just about enough there. Yellow shirts in the box. Nathan Paul, will he have a go from long range? He will. Nathan Paul brings out a wonderful save from Lawrence Thomas. Full time on what has been an epic round 5 Isuzu UTE A-League men's contest. The Western Sydney Wanderers are on the board for 25-26, their first win of the season. They had to do it the hard way. It was nervous, but it's job done. And that man, Lawrence Thomas, has just about secured the 3 points with a wonderful save on the stroke of full time to deny Nathan Paul. It has finished Western Sydney 3, Central Coast 2.
The Big Blue headed to Leichhardt Oval for the very first time on what was a wet and wild Saturday night in Sydney. The two most successful clubs in A-League history came into the fixture with very different fortunes so far this season, with Sydney FC on a 3-game winning streak, whilst Melbourne Victory had picked up just 4 points from their opening 4 fixtures. Despite 3 players having just returned from international duty, Ufuk Talay stuck with the same squad from last time out, whilst Melbourne Victory boss Arthur Dillies brought Josh Insera and Jing Reese into Victory's starting 11.
Now, that's a good run. The shot blocked by Devonish Mears. It almost fell straight back out to Keegan Jelassic. Denny Genro, I think it was, with the run. Campuzano and Toure in the middle. It comes in, back post, Ryan Grant. How often have you seen that? Ryan Grant arriving at the back post, unmarked, and probably should have done better. Mata at the back post. It looks for Juan Mata, lovely control. Mata back for Davidson. The effort saved at the near post by Devonish Mears. Both sides feeling they could be taking an advantage into the half-time break. Receives from Campuzano, who was hurdling challenges. Now King, ball for Lolly! Oh, great finish! Joe Lolly with a first-time finish from just inside the area. His 3rd goal of the season. It's a good move from Sydney FC. It's a crisp finish, and Leichhardt Oval erupts. And now the break is on for Sydney. 3-on-3. Wallity making it 4-on-3. Joe Lolly in possession. Campuzano to the right. Lolly still going! He doesn't need any help. Joe Lolly, Sydney FC's man of the moment, gets his 2nd of the night. And the Sky Blues are surely on their way to another Big Blue victory here. Kispe's ball, the header, and that is 3. They didn't have to wait long. Alex Grant in his 95th A-League match. And if it wasn't safe just before, it certainly is now. Sydney FC will be making it 4 wins in a row for the first time since May 2023. It's all over. It's Sydney FC fans that are singing in the rain at Leichhardt Oval. 3-0 winners over Melbourne Victory in the 67th Big Blue. Ufuk Talay's side, the form team of the competition. 4 wins in a row, 3 consecutive victories with clean sheets here at Leichhardt Oval. And the pressure climbs a little higher on Arthur Dillies and this Melbourne Victory side. Just one win for them in their opening 5 matches this season. Joe Lolly, the star of the evening for Sydney FC, and it really was a wonderful individual performance. An individual performance, but in a collective display from him as well. He really brought his team into this contest and was there with the finishers as well. A fantastic night for Sydney FC, a difficult evening for Melbourne Victory and their fans this evening. All over at Leichhardt Oval. Sydney FC 3, Melbourne Victory 0.
Brisbane Roar travelled to Go Media Stadium to face last year's minor premiers Auckland FC. The Black Knights were looking to pick up all 3 points to go back on top of the table against a Roar side who have been in hot form of late, with 2 wins and a draw from their opening 4 matches. Steve Corica was forced into making wholesale changes though, both through injury and suspension, whilst Michael Valkanes stuck with an unchanged side for Brisbane Roar.
It's a net buster from Lachlan Brook. He had a sight, stung the palm of Bazanis, and it rippled into the net in front of the paw.
What a hit, Lachlan Brook! Brisbane want to use every single blade of grass.
They go direct again over the top, and Vidic really causing confusion between Vowd and Peinecker. Again, ball played in over the top, all eyes on the assistant referee. Flag doesn't come, off the crossbar. Well, a huge let-off for the home side. Michael Roos rattles Michael Vowd's crossbar. Brisbane really warming to the task here after going behind to a thunderbolt of a free kick. And a sidewinder. Vowd needed to be alert there. Save took the pace off it, and he was able to snapple up the rebound. Delivery. There's a good one, and Harrington nearly goes 2 from 2. Think of the volley from McGarry as well. It was well handled by Michael Vowd. It's a clever ball in, and Vidic is in again, and finds the equaliser in the shadows of half-time. Justin Vidic made no mistake. An absolute slide rule pass. Vidic breaks the line and makes no mistake past Michael Vowd. Sea of bodies inside the 6-yard box. It's a teasing delivery, and it's almost stabbed out of goal. Guillermo Mai. Will it be Gillian? De Vries with the whip off the crossbar. Wow. Full time at Go Media Stadium. We are unable to find a winner. Corica rues the result. Lachlan Brook's moment of magic. Not enough for the home team. Justin Vidic silenced the Port deep into stoppage time of the first half. Full time at Go Media Stadium. Auckland FC 1, Brisbane Roar 1.
The Newcastle Jets hosted Perth Glory at McDonald Jones Stadium to close out round 5. The Jets came into the match undefeated in 12 matches against their opponents, who had not won in Newcastle since 2018. Jets boss Mark Milligan made 4 changes to his squad, with Lockie Rose, Max Cooper, Joel Bertolicio and Xavier Bertoncello all included in the starting 11, whilst Adam Griffiths brought Jaden Kaczarski, Tom Lawrence and Andriano Labib into his starting lineup.
Perth inviting on the pressure. Newcastle make the most of it. Dobson, Battolato, sliding it through the right channel, and the opening goal arrives. Brilliantly worked goal, and the Newcastle Jets, through Xavier Bertoncello, opened the scoring. Perth gave up possession, and they have been made to pay in full. He will stay with another local. Dobson, he lays it off, and Lightning nearly striking twice. What an opportunity for Bertoncello. He draws a good save out of Matt Sutton. Early ball from Dobson. It's a foot race. Rose wins the foot race. The net's open, and Kaltak saves the day. The ball is going to bend out for a corner kick, and Brian Kaltak spares the blushes of his keeper, defending an empty net. Wilmering, an in-swinger, and up goes the header. Nearly for Bertolissio, and then a second header has resulted in both players having a clash and crashing to the turf. Give away. And the counter-attack is on. Bozanovsky. Glory have got a 4-on-2 here, and the equaliser arrives. It's a goal for Tom Lawrence. And Perth Glory's main acquisition of the off-season has found the back of the net. And Perth are believing in Newcastle. 1-1. Clayton Taylor. There we go. The little flick to Battleado. The link-up play promising. Gibson frees the feet. Gets a shot away. It deflects kindly. The backspin on the ball saves Matt Sutton. And unfortunately, it didn't rear up off the turf after taking that bounce. Just kindly back into the goalkeeper's gloves. Now, a penalty's been given. Confusion reigns. Nathan Shakespeare points to his arm. Perth Glory are going to the spot with the chance to take the lead. Here comes the penalty from Pennington. Glory lead. Nicholas Pennington holds his nerve, and that could be priceless for Perth. And the away fans get their moment in the sun. High ball to the edge of the Glory box. Pennington, a high boot. Play continues. And the ball cleared. Aerial duel. Kaltak out jumps Gibson. Flick on by Pennington. Taggart shot on side. Hits the crossbar. Luckless. Adam Taggart absolutely luckless. Glory be. Perth win for the first time in the Isuzu UTE A-League in the 25-26 season. And they break a drought all the way back to December 2018 since they last won on the road in Newcastle. Newcastle Jets 1, Perth Glory 2.
So after 5 rounds, Sydney FC sit clear on top of the table, followed closely by Auckland FC, with Adelaide United, Melbourne City, Brisbane Roar and the Central Coast Mariners rounding out the league's top 6. Meanwhile, Perth's win leaves the Newcastle Jets sitting on the bottom of the ladder, with Arthur Dillis and Melbourne Victory starting to feel the pressure in desperate need of some points. Join us next week for another action-packed round of Isuzu UTE A-League action, headlined by the Sydney Derby on Saturday night.